states he did make it. February 28, 2007. That is when and where John McCain announced he was running for president. Our number one story in the countdown, in absentia, what McCain said and did not say to Letterman may ultimately prove to have been even more important than the time he told him he was announcing his candidacy. Letterman says McCain called him personally after 3 p.m. yesterday to explain his own bailout, said he was rushing to the airport to get back to Washington, suspending the campaign, but in the middle of the taping of the show, Letterman was advised, to his great surprise, that McCain had not gone to D.C., but instead to 57th Street to tape a different interview with the same network without telling Letterman or anybody at his show. The worst was yet to come. McCain did not even go to Washington after the interview with Katie Couric. He was still in New York and still campaigning at the Clinton Global Initiative this morning, hours after a McCain spokesperson revealed McCain's story to Letterman was simply a lie.
Well, I think we felt that this wasn't a night for comedy. David Letterman is, at all hours, very funny and humorous.
2 more points here. First, Letterman is not some comic hack. When the subject was raised during the taping yesterday that maybe McCain's handlers didn't want McCain to seem funny, Letterman's producers pointed out that he has repeatedly conducted in-depth, serious interviews with newsmakers of the day, certainly would have done so last night. Second, if comedy during a time of national crisis was the issue, then why did Senator McCain appear on Late Night with Conan O'Brien on Monday, August 29, 2005, the evening of the same day he celebrated his birthday with President Bush with a nice big cake, the same day that the levees were breached in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina struck? So even ignoring the conspiracy theory about McCain switching to Couric to offset Governor Palin's disastrous interview with Couric, even ignoring that because of the late cancellation by McCain, Letterman needed a fill-in guest literally in the neighborhood, and that turned out to be me, the last person they wanted out there, what they got by not being honest with Letterman was perhaps the sharpest, certainly the most persistent political satire and criticism of the campaign. By my count, 31 separate blasts, some of them here.
Maybe you heard the big news. John McCain, Senator John McCain, Republican candidate for president, was supposed to be on the program tonight. Were you aware of that? Yeah. But he had to cancel the show because he's suspending his campaign because the economy is exploding. And you know John McCain is he's the running mate of Sarah Palin. You're aware of that? So John McCain calls up and he said, I'm not going to be there, kids, because everything is going to hell. And then here's the funny part. Nobody told his vice presidential candidate, Sarah Palin. And honest to God, right now, she's still circling the theater in the white minivan. But when you call up, and you call up at the last minute and you cancel a show, ladies and gentlemen, that's starting to smell. I mean, this is not the John McCain I know, by God. But you heard it here first. This doesn't smell right. You know, this just doesn't smell right, because this is not the way a tested hero behaves. So somebody's putting something in his Metamucil. And let's say there's a time of crisis, and the poor guy, because he's a little older, I mean, he's about my age. And then Sarah Palin takes over as president. Well, she ought to be ready, because she's handled crises like this in the past. Oh, wait a minute, she really hasn't handled a crisis like this. Suspending the campaign. Yeah. Or are we suspending it because there's an economic crisis, or because the poll numbers are sliding? Oops. I don't mean to cut into your time and your generous visit, but when John McCain, and he was nice enough to call me on the phone and said he was racing back to Washington. Yeah. And our people here were told, so serious, he's getting on a plane immediately and racing back to Washington. And now we've just been told, here, take a look. Do we have it on the thing? This is going live. This there he is right there. He doesn't seem to be racing to the airport, does he? This just gets uglier and uglier. I'm feeling bad for the man to have participated in this. Let's just see what he has to say here. This will be interesting. I wonder if he'll mention me. Hey, John, I got a question. You need a ride to the airport?
I think he dished you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless her first question is, now, Senator, why did you cancel on Dave? Now
that ought to be the first question.
The other possibility is that she has all the money that's required to fix the economy.
I don't want to keep beating this thing, but it just... It really is starting to smell now because he says to me on the phone, I took a phone call from John McCain. A lot of senators don't call me.
Yeah, I know.
And so I felt like,
It's
okay,
a thrill.
as part of the national good, I understand. And I said, good luck. Thank you for being attentive to the cause. And he said, maybe next time I'll come in, I'll bring Sarah Palin. And I said, fine, whatever you need to do, that's just fine. He said, yeah, we're going to go save the country. And then you get plenty of, it's like we caught him getting a manicure or something. We're told now that the senator has concluded his interview with Katie Couric, and he's now on Rachel Ray's show making veal piccata.
Etc., etc., etc.